All right, guys. So, let me sit my behind down. All right, guys. So, Ohio State defeats Texas 14-7, and again, this if you're expecting fireworks and entertainment like I did, then you didn't get it. And listen, this was a defensive game. Both quarterbacks. I thought Julian Sayin was okay. Didn't really do too much. I mean, he didn't look impressive, but for the most part, he mostly just played game management. Ohio State, they didn't ask him to do too much. Saying missed some throws here and there, but for the most part, he played calm, cool, collective. Didn't try to lose the game. Didn't make it, too many big mistakes. And then you look at Arch, made too many. You look at Arch, and it's kind of like was kind of the opposite. Sarkisian just got Matt Patricia simply just outcoached the shit out of Sarkisian. It's not all on 100% on Arch Manning but Sarkisian tried to get again, it's an offense that can kill you in 1,000 ways. They can kill you off the quick passing game. They can kill you off of the run, which can set up play action. They run a lot of orbit motions, a lot of Y variants. A lot of railroad concepts and stuff like that. Like Ohio State was ready for it. And the crazy part is Ohio State was playing a lot. They were playing a lot of one high. They were playing a lot of one high, especially in that second half, because they knew that that Texas was not going to beat them. Hence why Texas was able to score off that last drive. They played a lot of man coverage variants simply because they were confident that Arch could not complete the throws. He was off rhythm. Arch missed. Again, there were some underneath routes. There were some underneath routes off of mesh that Arch just missed or he couldn't read. Arch struggled beyond the first read. Arch struggled beyond the first read. The dude struggled. Processing ability. Processing ability. Trying to exploit certain coverages. Like Arch just couldn't see it. Couldn't really do it. Now, of course, we got to the second half. Arch was, and it's mainly the fourth quarter. And it was mainly the fourth quarter. I got a hair in my mouth. God, I don't know how I got there. But anyway, mainly the fourth quarter. Arch got, you started to see the precision. You started to see the poisonous. And again, a lot of it was, and again, a couple of those big time throws, I believe it wasn't even off of, I have to go back and watch it, but I don't even think that was the initial read. If he was, I think he was looking off the safety, trying to give his receiver some little bit of time, hence why he was able to kind of make throws. So there were times where he's looking off the defender, and he can go ahead and make those huge big time throws. I got to get a haircut for real, but it is what it is. No, I mean, listen, Arch, this was his first game. He struggled. Sarkisian did not do him any freaking favors, especially in the red zone. Now, listen, Arch missed. There was a throw in the back of the end zone. I believe that was either on a post or a corner route. Couldn't really tell. Where there was an underneath receiver that they had in motion. He was open underneath. If Arch was able to he was open underneath, but you can tell that wasn't the first read. The read was that post or that corner route on the back of the end zone. But if he went off of that and got off of that and went off to the second read, he's open, wide open in the end zone. Well, not wide open in the end zone, but he had enough space to a point where if Arch leads the receiver, that's a touchdown. That's something that Arch is going to have to get better at. He's going to have to get better at getting off of that initial read, and trying. But again, this is the Sarkisian offense. This is what Quinn Ewers, I believe, struggled with. It was processing ability. Right? Couldn't really hit a lot of. Well, no, again, no. Arch, I think, is a better deep thrower than Quinn, but at the same time, today it didn't look like it. I think when you go back and watch the film, and listen, Ohio State's corners played well. That Bigginson, I'm going to call him David. David and Jermaine Matthews, I think both of them as boundary corners played very, very well. I thought Lorenzo Styles played very, very well. Obviously, you have Caleb Downs back there as well. Their secondary played extremely well, but some of these receivers were getting open. And Arch just struggled to either find them or he struggled to kind of hit them in stride. Hell, even the last drive, yes, the receiver should have caught the ball. That also should have been a better ball by Arch Manning. It should have been a better ball by Arch Manning. That would have been a conversion if he does a better job leading the receiver. So listen, Arch played like absolute. He played trash. Let's just be honest here, guys. He played way better in the fourth quarter, midway, literally the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when he played well. But let's be honest. 3.5 quarters, Arch played like dog shit. He played like dog shit. And to be fair, this is his first game in the Horseshoe against arguably against one of the best defenses in the country. Hopefully this can be valuable experience. But at the same time, you look at last year. Who did Quinn Ewers struggle with? Georgia the first time. Ohio State, Georgia in the SEC championship game. You look at some of those games that they struggle in. Look at the defenses that they're running. Look at the variants that they're running, the coverage variants that they're running. The same shit that's giving Texas struggles this year was the same shit that gave Texas problems last year. It's not a coincidence that Matt Patricia looked at last year's film and saw, and they took a look at that film last year and they implemented a lot of those variants within this defense, including with their own, and you were able to see it today. I want to say this right here, guys. Arch, he's going to do fine. He's going to be fine. There's no question about it. But I'm telling you this right now. The Florida game, the Georgia game, those are going to be the games that I'm going to look at because I like their defenses. I like the personnel, especially in the secondary, that can give them trouble. And I can guarantee you, they're going to look at this Ohio State game. They're going to look at the Georgia. They're going to look at they're going to look at all these previous games that are going to give them trouble. But most variably, they're going to look at this Ohio State game and they're going to take a look at themselves and lick their lips, lick their chops, pause on that. In terms of especially the lips, because I know some of you guys will take that out of context. And it's going to be very interesting how they're going to game plan for Arch. Because right now, the formula is out. Right now, the Krabby Patty formula is out there. And, again, obviously, Texas, they're going to be a lot better against the run, against the majority of teams, right? Again, it's rare to find a front in an overall complete roster that Ohio State does have. But again, that Florida game with Caleb Banks and Tyreek Sapp and them boys, and Georgia with Christian Miller, I can't wait. All I'm going to say is I can't wait. Arch has got to show something because otherwise, if he doesn't, they're going to continue to struggle against these sort of defenses and hope that Texas defense can continue to carry. Because a few blunders that happen with Texas defense, they can't carry it all. So we're going to see what Sarkisian can do. But so far, first game was not impressed. Was not impressed at all by Arch Manning. All the hype that he was getting all the offseason about him being the number 1 overall pick and him being a generational player. Well, you saw today that, yeah, there's a reason why his granddad said he may need another year. He's staying another year. There's a reason why he said that. So the Mannings know exactly what they're doing. Sometimes a lot of these draft analysts, the Pro Football Focuses, the mock drafts, the draft Campbells, sometimes shut the fuck up. Listen to Archie. He's telling you exactly what's going on. He's a quarterback. There's a reason why he runs that damn show. He's telling you exactly why Arch is not coming out. Listen for once, and maybe we wouldn't put a lot of this pressure on this kid for him to be the first pick of the overall in the 2026 draft.